Hello, Internet! Sorry for the late awakening, but it looks like we got missing members. So for now, it's just gonna be me and Maxi Boy here.
Oh boy.
On Fanfiction Theater 9001. Well, Fanfiction Contempt Theater. The Contempt's there. It's
I was about to say, we rebranded that way the fuck back.
It's a subtle change to the title. Contempt. Because that's all I have left for this. Alright.
That's all you have left in life.
There we go. Now let me try and find a good fanfic to do. I have arrived. From miasma of work and sleep, I greet you all. Also, is it healthy to lose most of a week from conscious memory? I wouldn't worry about that, Isley. I do that all the time.
That is not healthy, but it is not an uncommon occurrence in this group, unfortunately.
Let's see. So I'm feeling let's go with this garbage here. So this is gonna be a nice easy one to start with. It's gonna be a Worm One Punch Man cross.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It's gonna be good shit, son. Okay. So now, as per Twitch and YouTube, because this is archived to YouTube, guidelines, do not contact any of the people who we feature on this podcast unless they specifically say you can. Because that would constitute harassment otherwise, which is against the rules, and we are not allowed to promote harassment. Because it's against the rules. Yeah. So don't do it.
Yep. Please don't.
Anyway, that's that about covers it. Also, apparently,
heroin for a hobby. That sounds familiar.
Heroin for a hobby.
Oh, that's why it's familiar. I read this on my own time.
Oh, you did? Is it good?
Yeah. I don't remember. This was published back in 2015. That's when I first found it.
Ah.
So, it had some. It's got potential. It's not the worst thing you've ever read. Is this the right one?
I certainly hope so. There was the other one. Is I Can Take 'Em is the other one.
I think I Can Take 'Em was the one that was really great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, this one I think tries to better blend One Punch Man with Worm to a degree.
Right. Alright, so while you do that, I'm going to get right on into it.
It's just, by your standards, it might be mediocre, but I haven't read this in so long, I can't even remember if it's something I'd recommend or not.
Heroin for a hobby. Some said there were places out there where you couldn't possibly have too much power. Some said Earthbat was one of those places. Some were wrong. They were very, very wrong. Why can't Mary and Gary ever walk straight out of bar? Because a fic dies before scene resolve this. What? I'm sorry, sex, but what? I'll drink to that though, thank you.
Oh boy.
Alright. Blah blah blah. I decided there aren't enough fics, so I'm gonna write one. I'm not going to lie, Tattletale grimaced. This looks bad for us. Grammatical error, you're not supposed to capitalize the T if you're using commas. Regent snorted. I see your power is really pulling its weight there. That's obvious to any of us. I don't know what the there is for. And it was. It really, really was. The Undersiders had, up to this point, been a low-risk, low-reward gang. taking on relatively safe jobs and staying under the radar, until their mysterious boss called Tattletale with an offer. A huge cash reward if you rob a casino. Normally, they would have been extremely enthusiastic about doing so. However, there was a caveat. This casino belonged to one of the two largest, most powerful criminal gangs in the city of Brockton Bay, the Asian Bad Boys, or the ABB for short. And by extension, it also belonged to their boss, Lung, widely recognized as the single most powerful parahuman in the city. Now, you might notice I put extensive amount of pauses in there. That's not because the author actually knew how to write a sentence. That's because I'm just done trying to say it all in one breath. Hello, Alcy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they didn't manage to get away cleanly in their little heist, and Lung caught rid of it. No comment there. The said gang leader was now gunning for them. Tattletale, Gru, the black-clad leader of the team, said urgently. And I never quite got this, right? Like, it's straight worm. The only people who are going to be reading this story are going to be people that know what worm is. Because it's not like Dragon Ball Z, that it's a series that everyone sorta knows, but maybe you're not too interested in, but like you're a really big fan of Familiar of Zero, and you see a Dragon Ball Familiar of Zero cross, and you're like, well, I kind of know what the Dragon Ball characters are. I'm sort of interested in reading this. Like, if you don't know what worm is, you're not gonna pick it up and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be interested in this, because you're gonna have no friggin' idea what worm is. Worm is such an undescriptive name. Only the people who know what worm is will know what you mean when you say I read worm.
Yep. And even with some people I've seen, like, it actually takes a moment to be like, oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Depending on how long ago it was they last looked at it.
And so, you know, if you're sitting here reading a One Punch Man Worm cross, it's not because you're a fan of One Punch Man. It's because you're a fan of Worm. So I'm not... I will forever be eternally confused, and I will forever bring it up when I see it and get confused from it. When in a story that's clearly for Worm fans, who are also might be fans of One Punch Man, the author is describing characters all Worm fans should know.
Well, ideally, yes.
Yes. Well, I really hope you know the Undersiders if you're a fan of Worm.
No, nothing about them.
Anyway. Also, I kind of just hate descriptors like that. Gru, the black-clad leader of the team. It's like, black-clad in what? Leather? An apron? Armor?
All you told us is he's wearing a lot of black. Like, give us some. Give us something.
Like, if you're going to break the flow to describe a character to the reader base, at least fucking describe the character. Don't be like, he's wearing black color. Thanks! So descriptive. We need a plan. That's usually your forte. The blonde-haired girl thought furiously. If we try to run, he'll smoke us out, she mused, leaving the city again. You really don't know how dialogue works, do you? Or at least grammar and dialogue. Leaving the city obviously isn't an option. She looked up at Gru. I mean, it is an option, but okay. I think our best chance may be to do something he doesn't expect. Like what? Reed asked. Hitting him head on, Gru realized. If we go after him, we might catch him off guard.
I just want to point out, I think the one thing he wouldn't expect would be for you to, I don't know, call the PRT or the police. Something.
Honestly, that would be the most unexpected thing for you to do. I mean,
Yeah.
But honestly, if you're being chased by Lung, the giant rage murder dragon, it'd be like, hey, PRT! Yeah! I'm being chased by Lung.
Like,
what the hell have I missed?
Nothing.
Oh,
Absolutely
hey, he's
nothing.
not dead and dying in a gutter.
No, but it came close because of the video store I work at. 2 people today, 2 people tried to break hundreds at a video store, and when they were like, can you break this? And I'm like, no. They look at me, confused and amazed.
Who the fuck even tries to use a 100 to pay for things at a video store?
I mean,
Peasants!
if I'm
Break
paying
this
upwards of
100 for me!
$60, maybe.
Like, if you're walking around with $100 bills, I'm pretty sure you
Isley.
can afford to buy the videos at that point.
Damn it, Isley, I don't know if this is just a joke with you at this
You're
point.
getting trolled, son.
I have to be getting trolled at this point. God,
And
I
you
hope
keep falling for it, Max. By the way,
God.
you were wrong. I left the stream on all day.
Anyway, so,
are you
blah,
talking
blah,
about?
blah, we're gonna go fight Long. Blah,
Warframe
blah,
thing.
blah, Long
But it
is
was on
being
Saturday.
Long. Blah, blah, blah,
Oh, it's Saturday?
blah. Kill the
Fucking
kids.
yes.
Well, either way, I'll still have to try it then.
Blah, blah. Generic, stereotypical, every author ever does this.
I can't tell if Isley's still playing up the joke or if she's actually just dumb.
Oh, there's no telling.
Apparently, Chrysanthemum is watching my old videos at the moment instead of
Yes,
watching the
I
new
saw
ones.
that.
Why?
I don't know.
Let's take this
I
moment to
guess.
specifically call out Chrysanthemum
Yeah,
for
Chrysanthemum,
watching
I'm
the
calling
old
you
content.
Why?
Chrysanthemum just left a message on one of the previous videos saying, I'm here to pretend that I'm not getting my ass kicked by Camp NaNoWriMo.
Chris is watching.
Should
Wait,
we
is Chris watching
should
both?
we send a message through Discord or should we just let her?
She's
find
right
it?
there. She's in the
She's
chat.
in the chat. She's in the chat saying both.
Oh, good.
Why?
Friggin'
Is
maroon.
Chris trying to set up like conversations between the podcasts?
What?
Like, cause she got like an old video in the left ear and the new one in the right ear, just to start like fucking audio shopping shit together.
No, I'm just a dork. No, yeah, before Chrysanthemum comes out with some like 30-minute long video of her just audio splicing us.
God.
I mean, look, I'm not saying it's not a good idea. We've said there have been some real choice snippets over the last 100 or so episodes.
There's been some stuff.
I will freely admit to that. Anyway, so, blah, 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 kill the kids, and suddenly, he was punched! No, sorry, the ground was punched! And everyone was scared. In this age of falling populations worldwide, I can't let you kill children, a female voice declared, and Lung narrowed his eyes as the dust began to clear. A best of Sneaky compilation would be worth lots of laughs. Well, if anyone wants to try and make a best of Sneaky's compilation, I will wholeheartedly promote it.
Isley, I undertook a massive project to kill time at work, where I was like, I'll just sit through all the podcasts up to this point and grab key moments. I could not go past the third one. It was too much. I've got a little notebook somewhere with like 5 pages filled up of timestamps.
What can I say? I'm a quote mine.
Between
Well, to be fair,
you
some
and
of them are
Atin,
from me.
yeah, like one of Atin's earliest quotes is easily the most memorable. I wasn't aware we were playing Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
Back
What
in like
on earth?
I
Max,
don't
what was the
Naruto
context?
story.
I don't remember. You were just really angry.
It was, I believe, it was the Naruto Overwatch story.
I don't think that was that one. No, it was like way back in episode 1 or 2.
Anyway,
Like the first 20 minutes.
blah
Oh, God.
blah blah. Standing in the small crater was an unusual black-haired young woman, dressed in cargo pants and a tank top, while her face was clearly skin tone.
Huh?
Oh my god. This author's actually that dumb. All right, listen. I hate to take a page from the left, but author and makers of crayons, you cannot simply label something skin tone because there are many people with many different colors of skin. So if you just say skin tone, that tells us nothing because that could be white, black, yellow, or a fucking rainbow for all the information that gives us.
So, Crayola made this crayon that's like a peachy, palish color, and they named it Skin Tone.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah. Also reminds me of the color nude. Yeah, it's just, it's like, guys. Yeah, author, you can't just be like, she was the color of skin. Wow, I really hope she was the color of skin. Otherwise, we have a lot larger issues on our hands. Like the fact that she's missing all of her skin. Which, speaking of which, skin is the largest organ in your body. And now you know. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, then.
Her body was clearly that of a slim human female. Several of her body parts...
A slim human female as opposed to a slim female tyrannid?
Yes. Several of her body parts, including her arms and neck, looked completely cybernetic. So she's Genos? Okay. Tinker, maybe? I don't know who the hell you are, Lung grunted, but you have one chance to leave before you die. In response, she raised her arms to a fighting position. Her cybernetic eyes, black with yellow irises, locked onto him, acquiring target. Lung rolled his eyes. Kill her. His men began to open fire on the strange cyborg, filling the air she had been standing in with bullets. Had been the key word. She had already began moving forward in blur to hit one of his men in the gut, doubling him over in pain. She swiftly moving amongst the men, darting around gunfire and lashing out with pinpoint strikes to disable them all. He noted that none of his men were dead. He also noted that she took all 24 or so of them out in less than a minute. Yes. The notations.
Yep.
Also, that's a question for you, Atin.
Oh, the one about the tiered? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't say anything. Alright, who the hell are you supposed to be? My name is Dragon. I am a hero. Her palm lit up and my target is acquired. A blast of fire shot from her palm, colliding directly with him with significant force, knocking him to the ground. Feeling his power kicking in to regenerate the damage, he got to his feet with a dark chuckle. Dragon? You call yourself
Yes,
a dragon?
let's throw fire at the man named Lung, who's been reported to turn into a dragon. This will go fabulously.
Well, you fight me! He felt the metallic scales begin to form across his chest. I will teach you what a dragon really is, little girl. I honestly, I don't care which way the author takes this story. I already dislike it.
I already dislike this author based on their profile picture. Tells me everything I need to know.
Fair.
Alright.
Feel the need to mention this is a Dragon is Genos and Taylor is Saitama fanfic, and by that I mean they are each other. Yeah, okay. I don't like that. Unless there's some magical explanation as to why Dragon suddenly has got a body. Not too big of a fan of that. Not too big of a fan of that. The fight between Taylor and the clone made by Shinada was cool though. Oh, so we get to that part. I mean, maybe I'll skip ahead to that part just so we can read that, because this chapter looks to be about over. I mean, there's not really much to say here. I mean, I'm not too, like, angry because they're not pulling shit out of their ass, and they're not getting the characters overly wrong.
Horribly wrong, anyway.
Yeah, it's mediocre. They're minor grammar errors, the plot's dumb. There's a bit of an ass pull in the beginning to explain why Dragon is Genos, but...
The time I read it, at the time I read it, I think it was only like 2 chapters in, and I don't think it was mentioned at that point. But apparently, there have been 5 more updates since then.
Anyway, so, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
it's a Genos versus Lung fight. If you know those characters, you can imagine it. If you don't know those characters, then this story means nothing to you. The author is unimaginative in his descriptions of a Genos versus Lung fight. I'll kill you, blah blah blah, this is bad, how do I fight him? Blah blah blah, I have devised the perfect plan to fight him. Now she's shooting more laser beams at him and punching him. There's some more laser beams being shot. Now she's having a flashback for a power-up moment. Blah 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 blah. Lung got suddenly faster because he also had a power-up moment. Blah 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 blah. Lesson learned. It's the shonen formula. It's literally the shonen formula condensed into around 2,000 words instead of 5 episodes.
Also, it, you know, completely lacks the interesting fights.
I mean, to be fair, I am skipping over it. I could probably make the fight.
I know.
But it's just, I'm just so not into the story at all. Because it's... I've read so much wormfic at this point that anytime a story starts with or immediately segues into Taylor getting her powers and the first person she comes across is Lung saying kill the kids, I'm just so tired of that.
I mean, look, here's the thing. It's a perfectly fine spot to start. Like, it makes sense. I get why you're tired of it. The problem is...
my main problem with it, though, is that there's Tinker Tailors who get the power to build fucking Supreme Commander units. And the first villain she ever comes across is Lung saying kill the kids.
Yeah, no.
And there's like, oh, I'm a future sight Tailor, and I can precog everything. And the first crime I precog since the 8 months of getting my powers, because this is an AU, is Lung saying kill the kids. It's just like...
See, that's the problem.
There's so many stories I can be like, okay, yeah, I understand that being the first, person she comes across because, her powers were restrictive and didn't, let her fly or some shit that would have given her access to greater mobility of surveillance. And so, sure, she comes across that. Fine. But it's like... and it's also so poorly done, because 90% of those fights aren't even like this is a natural sequence of events. They're always written as a Taylor with her new powers completely ruffle stomps Lung, and everyone is shocked. Except this changes nothing.
Yep.
Glad to see I'm not the only one who just likes that habit. I try to set it a few months beforehand, also to allow cool fight scenes that make sense without the OP problem. Needs more self-inserts into Lung going with kill the kid stick despite knowing how overdone it is. I do believe I saw 1 to 2 self-insert Lung stories recently. I didn't read them because I was completely uninterested in the concept of a self-insert being reborn into Lung. But, they're there.
It exists, and that's a problem.
I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a problem. I'll only say it's a problem if they're absolute garbage, but I don't fucking care to find out. Now, what I will say is a problem is the show-off of powers. It's like, this isn't a shonen. I get some people read Worm stories to look at the curb stomp that happens in them, but pretty much every curb stomp...
I was going to say, the thing about Worm is, it is damn near the exact opposite of a shonen. Unlike Naruto, unlike Bleach, Taylor isn't guaranteed to live. As we've discussed before, Wildbow was like, I'm rolling dice, and if you die, you die, bitch.
Yeah, it's just like... how best to put this? Worm isn't about the fights. As interesting as they are, Worm isn't about the fights. Worm's about the dystopia. Worm is about the escalating series of events that lead to worldwide cataclysms. Worm is a superpower dystopia. That is the point of the genre.
Emphasis on dystopia.
What's going on?
People writing Worm as a shonen action instead of the superhero dystopia it's supposed to be.
You could write shonen action, but you'd have to treat it as a seinen story instead.
Well, yeah, but like the thing is though, it's like I was saying, like almost every fighty story I see for Worm inevitably dies by the time they get to Leviathan. Because they base their whole story off of, wow, look at her powers, wham, bam! And then the Leviathan fight happens, and the author realizes, oh shit, I actually can't make her win against Leviathan because her powers don't let her do that. But this entire story is based off of her wall stomping people. And so they drop the story, and it dies. Because they didn't base it off of character interaction, they didn't base it off of plots and plans, they didn't base it off of the various generic dystopia tropes of incompetent government and greedy people ruining any good things that happen. And as much as tropey and as eye-rolly as they can be, that's the universe this is in. Where all good things are because the bad guys are using it as a PR move, and all the bad things happen because the good guys are incompetent.
Yep.
Like, if you don't like that genre, then learn how to write. Because changing a series' genre is exceedingly difficult, as I have found out. And I'm no master of writing, but I'm certain whenever we get Kelm on next, we can ask him, and he'll probably say the exact same shit I'm saying, and he's fucking popular on Fanfiction.net with his stories. But anyway, that's not the point. Blah blah blah, lesson learned. Blah blah blah, Taylor shows up, one shot's long. She makes a bad pun. Wait, yes? Who are you? I'm Taylor. I'm a hero for a hobby. Please, make me your student. Okay.
Jesus.
Blah blah blah, the Undersiders witnessed this.
I'll be right back in 1 sec.
They've all decided to become heroes. Tattletale reveals, oh my god, she was holding back against Long. Yep. Yep. Okay, so that was the story. Moving on to the next one. Hopefully this one will be less fucking stupid. Alright, so, I know I said less stupid, but, we're doing this one. You two there?
I'm here.
Okay.
Naruto the Ghost Stalker. What?
Naruto the Ghost Stalker. By NPC Crusader. At the early age, Naruto is rescued from a mob. Yeah.
We're just gonna start right in the middle. Not even the middle, right at the start of the summary, we're already starting with mobs like to chase the kid down.
And it is taken I would like to say, keep in mind, I picked up these stories literally months ago now, so I don't even remember the summaries. Curse you past me!
Why are you yelling it past you?
Because I picked a story in which literally the first 3 words were Naruto is chased by a mob. In the summary.
Huh.
And it's taken under the wing.
Author couldn't even wait till the first chapter.
Under the wing of a mysterious shinobi. To be trained in the arts unknown to other nations. Soon, Naruto will master all the skills needed to be a formidable ninja, as well as unique deadly powers to accomplish any of his objectives. And he will have unspeakable power!
If that was supposed to be Aku, the Master of Darkness, it was terrible and you should feel bad.
No, I'm not drunk enough to do Aku yet.
So there's hope.
This is a story which will have content about God and M-rated material. But before we get to the story, I want to make it clear to anyone that might take offense, I do not believe in God. And then
I don't believe God
I
would
don't
make
believe
alternate
God would make
universes.
alternate universes. Why not?
I'm sorry, but like, I'm a Christian. This is known. I love the idea that he got bored and said, "Fuck it, I'm making multiple versions
here's
of
the
this
thing.
one universe."
We just don't know. We just don't know. There's no way to know, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm always entertained by the idea, though, of like, let's see what happens when I push this.
Again, I am firmly in the clockmaker, in the deist, deist. Yeah, that's what it was. Deist section.
Yeah,
Where
there's a guy that made the clock, started it up, and let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are a fan of that theory.
Just picture God as this really old hunchbacked clockmaker making like shit tons of clocks. No one ever buys them, but he just has a fucking shitload of them in his workshop.
That's just his hobby.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
I don't know why you would ever have to even talk about, like, you don't need an author's note for this, mate.
you really don't.
Just write.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine to be proud of your beliefs, but you don't have to explain yourself.
Nothing here needed
I mean, I will demand explanation from certain people. Cough, cough. Freaking pulpit stand, blind Harry.
Oh.
You're bringing that. I love that every time you guys have looked at that, except for one time, I've been absent from those fics.
I hated that author so fucking much.
No, Sneaky, you're saying it like it's the past tense. Hate. It's still a present hate.
I feel nothing for
brought
him
it up
now.
again. That's not
Oh,
true. There's
you've
still a
moved on.
nugget of hatred in you because you just brought it up completely out of the blue months later.
No, that's
There's
spite.
a tiny nugget
There
of
is
hate.
spite.
Okay? That spite is still an emotion, sir.
Yes, but spite is not hatred. One can be spiteful without being hateful.
Yes, that's true, but he said I feel nothing, which is incorrect.
Damn.
Sneaky, what the fuck are you trying to spell?
Epinephrine.
Why?
Because that is the word to describe my hatred for people. It comes and it goes. It's not a permanent thing. You missed nothing. We're about to start on a Naruto story in which the author apparently decided to need to explain his belief in God to people. Even if he did, I don't think they would be different from ours. Why not? You have unlimited power. You are also all-knowing. Why wouldn't you make different things? If you made one thing, why wouldn't you make different things?
See, I'm going to choose to believe that God made alternate universes because hopefully he just made one that's like the opposite of ours. So somewhere out there's a female version of me that's super attractive and successful. So good for that version of me.
I fully support this. The attractive and successful female versions of us. Best of luck to you. Kanpai. I will drink to that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over the sound of ripping people's clothes off. What did you say?
You're aware of your own stream, right, Atin?
Yes, I'm aware. I'm playing a keep it strip.
I said I fully support the female, successful, attractive versions of us.
Ah, good. Now, you see, if we get enough people to watch the stream, we can sell body pillows of those versions of ourselves. I just hope they don't sue us across the dimensions.
I mean, one of them might.
A fucking portal opens and just pop, and we just get a fucking notice in our face. Just a legal notice pops out.
The trans-dimensional lawyers are on to us.
Oh, please, you think a lawyer will stop at something small like a dimensional boundary if they smell a paycheck?
Actually, no, I'd love for that to happen. That means that we officially have first contact and stand to gain billions from this information.
I fully support. I think someone should write a sci-fi fantasy story in which, instead of scientists, lawyers are actually the reason why we breached the dimensions. I'm sure that would be great. Anyway. Add stream markers. I can now mark the stream down so other people can use them to watch later. Oh, neat. Alright, so I'm actually going to do that. This is the part where we start reading. Bad.
Wait, did you just unlock the ability for stream markers?
Yep.
Oh, good for you. Calvin, first contact with lawyers will be amazing. Imagine the stuff that you can demand as evidence for why they're suing you from the other
That's
world.
not admissible in court! Imagine the Vulcans landing to go to Zephyr. You just said a lot of words I don't understand. At some point in time, in another universe, there was a planet much like Earth. There are many differences you can imagine. One of the most visible is the fact that the continents and countries are shaped in an entirely different way. The continents on our planet were once a big one. Pangea, you can say Pangea. That later broke apart to form Earth as we know it today. That's basically what it is here. There are some large island clusters scattered around the planet, which is some areas are dense enough to form mini nations, mostly of the republic government type. Or despotic dictator, you really...
Actually, based on the geography we've seen, if he is describing Narza's world, it appears to still be 2 supercontinents and a small smattering of islands. So...
Yeah, except for the part
Not
where
sure.
the author is insinuating that there is the Pangea where Naruto takes place, and then there's small island clusters scattered around the rest of the globe.
Yeah, which is kind of stupid.
However, this distinguishing feature of the world is not just geographical. While it has human beings, the ones here are born. The ones here are born.
That's some English.
With the potential to use something unique to them. The ability to use superhuman strength and supernatural powers. Well, technically speaking, it's not superhuman strength or supernatural powers, being that the baseline human is capable of doing all of that. This is all thanks to something called chakra, which is something of a mix of spiritual and willpower energy in our own terms. Yeah, I guess, but it's more like physical and spiritual energy. So we can't even get chakra right. Chakra exists in their bodies as if it was a parallel bloodstream and is equally important as the red fluid in
Oh, the live stream. Are we playing Final Fantasy VII?
Yes.
That was so forced. Go back to
Fuck
your
you.
fucking
I'll make the
stupid
Final
game.
Fantasy jokes I want.
Oh god. Sneaky, you should probably change the banner now that Atin's here.
I guess. Or I could just keep it the way it is.
Fuck you. I was 8 minutes late because my video store can't hire people who show up on time.
Yeah. Calvin, I appreciate the effort. You're just 1 letter off, but I appreciate the effort nonetheless.
Joined by Max Force and the live stream!
I will accept this.
Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah, purple prose, blah 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 blah, author getting everything wrong, blah 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 blah, author still not understanding how things work, blah 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 blah, technology and history, blah 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 blah, still not understanding how history worked. And now this story was written in 2014, no 2010 actually, okay. So that was...
Oh, it was last updated 2014. Oh dear. That was... No, we still had enough to understand. how at the very least chakra worked and some of the history of the villages, I think.
Let's see, 2010, that was, okay, Yeah, no, that was like nearing the end of the Fourth War. I believe 2010 was the...
No, 2014, I think, was nearing the end of the Fourth War, mate. 2010 was nearing when we got some much needed info on who Madara Uchiha actually was, though. I think that's when we started getting flashbacks.
I think 2010 was the start of the flashbacks when Madara was kicking all the Hokage's asses. But still, even
No,
then...
not even that. No, I'm talking about when I think, I'm talking about when Sasuke was like, "Yo, old Hokages, give me the deets." So before I go kill everything.
Hmm.
I think honestly, the last 15 years of Naruto are such a blur. It could be literally anything, and we'd probably still be right.
I mean, that's fair enough. Okay, yeah, so... Point being, the author doesn't know some information, and I will give that to them. However, they also don't know how technology or technological development or human society works. So I will penalize them for that regardless. Like, it's one thing if they go with the canon explanation, which can be wrong, but it's the canon explanation, so that's what you go with. Understandable. But if you're like, I don't know the canon explanation yet, so I'm just going to make something up, you better be fucking accurate with it then. You know, because you're not, you know...
You don't have to be accurate, but it has to be plausible.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I meant. You know, like, you don't have to be like, oh, well, after 700 hours of studying sociology and human genome, I have come to the conclusion that this is how a society will... No, just... Is it believable?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm already a little annoyed. I just jumped ahead.
From person to person.
He has someone named the Kamikage and claims that means spirit shadow. No, you just named someone God Shadow. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh god.
Yeah, okay, so, anyway,
I'm gonna go back to eating my steak. This is starting to upset me.
Anyway, so blah blah blah, elemental countries, blah 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 blah, blah blah blah, land of rice or rice country, chaotic formation of the nations, everything was brutal, people killed each other, blah blah blah, ninja arts, taijutsu, also a unique art called the spirit art. The spirit style has two sides to its usage. One of the benevolent style, which is used for the betterment of the self, or your fellow human beings, labeled the ghost style, is for the offensive purposes. These techniques focus on stealth and sneak attacks.
Why aren't both ones focused on stealth?
Because
they're ninja arts. But they're ninja arts, you fucking cunts.
Blah 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 blah. Author doesn't know how to do shit. Blah blah blah. Kamikage, meaning spirit shadow. A kage that is a... This explanation right here. These parentheses right here. So I use parentheses when I talk to other people. Not when I'm writing. Not unless the story is being written in a manner of a story being explained by an actual person to another actual person. At that point, I'll be like, oh, okay. But you have to establish that this is a story being told between two people and not just a narrative retelling of the history, so everyone that reads your story can be bored as fuck when they open up the first chapter. A special type of ninja art that focuses on stealth? How revolutionary! Indeed, Isley. Indeed.
I mean, to be fair, there are a number of ninja techniques that are decidedly unstealthy.
Well, and as Sneaky has liked to argue in the past, it's still stealth if no one's alive to actually report.
Okay, yeah, but here's the problem with that. let's say I make a 100-foot tall water dragon and I kill an entire village. The problem is I've made a 100-foot tall water dragon. That's pretty visible.
Well, yeah. To all the people that are still alive. So if you killed all those people, then no one will know about the 100-foot water dragon.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's real hard to make sure you got all the witnesses for the 100-foot water dragon.
Well, then
that's
don't
a
make
lot of ground to
water
cover.
dragon.
Yeah, go for like 20 foot.
Go for like
I don't know what
100
what
1-foot water dragons.
I don't know why you're going for the overkill.
Yeah, just go like 100 1-foot water dragons.
That's a great idea. More efficient.
Indeed. So anyway.
Okay, and what about like any fireball jutsu? Pretty visible.
Okay. And everyone's usually dead by the end of that.
Yeah, like I'm still not seeing the problem here, Atin. Most fireball jutsus are actually fairly small. The Uchihas are just dickheads about it.
I mean, Madara's unsubtle as fuck with his, but his is also just like, hey, I heard you didn't like this several acres of land.
Yeah, no. Madara also has a jutsu for when he wants to summon a meteor and then a moon onto the meteor. So,
yeah.
He's not a good measuring stick for stealth.
But hey, that'll pretty thoroughly kill literally everyone hit by it.
It will, yes. Madara is focused on Naruto. Madara's not focused on stealth. He's focused on efficient killing. No need for stealth.
Anyway, so blah blah blah, Kamikage-sama. Kamikage-sama. But a surrender will only mean blah 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 blah. Shitty history as told by the author. Blah 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 blah. The Book of the One Spirit clearly states human life is sacred, and our choices must always reflect that.
I like how you sounded drunk halfway through that.
I mean,
that took some skill.
Killed by lunar impact is certainly a way to go. Anyway, so this is a stupid moral dilemma the author is trying to pose here. If the book says life is sacred, then you must act on that. Okay. 50 villagers to protect the book, or literally hundreds to several million people if the enemy gets their hands on it.
I see no problems here.
Anyway, so blah 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 blah.
So, why don't they just burn the book?
Because it's sacred.
It's not the book that's sacred, it's the techniques. They just said as much. Our
But
techniques are sacred.
Is this when Yoda shows up and pulls the Last Jedi?
It's the sacred plot device, Max. You can't just burn the sacred plot device.
Yes, silly me. I forgot. I can't.
Remember
I'm sorry. I forgot about the rules of the shiny MacGuffin. My apologies.
Yes, you should. How dare you? Alright, blah blah blah, one spirit. It's the fucking Holy Bible.
Are you kidding me?
Did you just not get that? You're just now getting this.
No, I immediately understood it the second it said the one spirit.
Sneaky, I understood the moment that the author admitted this is going to be a story that just mentions God but under a different name. It's pretty obvious.
But it's not God under a different name. Kami literally means God in another language.
No, Sneaky, the one spirit is God in this case. Kami, which technically can be translated to spirit, is more often than not translated to God because it is used for deific beings. This author is an idiot.
Oh,
What he
I
technically
went to
wrote was Shadow of God.
CCD. They referred to my priest referred to God as the one spirit.
Well, then I got news for you. Your priest was a heretic.
Well, he was Protestant.
No, that has nothing to do with it. The fact
No.
the fact is, God is 3 spirits. And yes, I'm fully aware you're making a joke about the Catholic Church, but the Catholic Church are the actual heretics. Fight me,
Ironically enough.
Catholics.
Did you not ask to fight Catholics on stream?
What's that? You
We
want
must
me to
settle
keep
this with the
asking
crusade.
to fight the Catholics?
Whoever crusades harder is the true religion.
I
I
don't even know
mean-
who would win at this point because a lot of Christianity is composed of angry people in America with lots of guns.
Listen. Here's the thing. Most of the American Christians are not Catholic. So if the Pope wants to start something, I'm happy to go like to Alabama and be like, "Yo, the Pope says you're a punk bitch and that God likes the gays."
Yo, that guy over there? Yeah, he said he hates you. That fucking meme.
It would work too.
Would
It probably would work.
No, well, it's unfortunate. Anyway, beyond the heretical nature of my priest at CCD, blah 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 blah, trying to give a speech, blah blah blah, stupid speech, blah blah blah, they interrupted the speech, blah 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 blah, we must preserve the knowledge of the world. The Kage continues, blah 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 blah, our way of life must be preserved. Therefore, some people must escape, blah 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 blah, the rest of us will fight and die. Our faith must be kept alive. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. We'll all die here, but we will not cease to exist because we will keep going. Blah blah blah. This world will know true peace. Blah 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 blah. Pointless dialogue. Blah blah blah. The shining book shall always be kept with me. For I am the Kamekage, and the one spirit will gather us. Blah 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 blah. Deus Volt. Blah 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 blah.
I'd be willing
blah.
to get the author pity points if they'd actually written Deus Vult in instead of you shittily adding it.
I mean, that's basically what they're saying here. But,
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but here's the problem. They didn't have the balls to say it, so...
What's your opinion on Darkest Dungeon Smutfix? I don't read Smutfix.
And as far as a
don't.
Darkest Dungeon smutfic goes, you should... Hey, listen. We've got a really good friend. His name is Lord of the Nosehair. He'd be really interested in those.
Yeah, you should link Nosehair, all of your Darkest Dungeon Smutfix that you find in the Discord.
Why do you guys do this to him?
Because we can.
That's not a very good reason.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're just trying to be helpful to Nosehair.
I somehow doubt that.
Anyway, so blah blah.
Oh, Zexus brings up a good point.
Hidan? Yes.
Yeah.
Mercenarying is a forbidden practice. When you fight, you shall fight with other shinobis, and refrain from using jutsus. Blah blah, the one spirit will guide you all. Blah blah blah. We are all of the spirit country, and we are all following the book. From this day forth, we are a shattered nation and a splintered country. I am no longer the Kami Kage. I am now the Yokai Kage, or Ghost Shadow. May the one spirit stay with us. May he steer us as we journey. May he keep us strong. May he bless us with growth. And may his goals be achieved, and we will be part of his divine village.
What the fuck is going on?
I want to punch this off.
I do as well.
I'll just sit back and let you each, like, take my punch.
I mean, it might take us a couple tries to get only half a punch each in, so we'll have to do it multiple times just to make sure.
Indeed.
And that's how the country of Spirit Country, known as Spirit Country, became the people without one, now known as the Ghost Country. When asked, they answered they all hail from the village hidden in shadows. Most of the time, the people dealt with accepted it, as they aren't well versed in other countries and villages in first place. Sometimes when dealt with more knowledgeable people, they invoked their right as shinobi to not divulge more information, which also worked. But when dealing with neutral shinobi, they had to be even more secretive and refuse altogether where they came from. Any conflicts resulted either in enemy barely winning and not gaining their knowledge through post-mortem self-cremation, a unique technique known only to Ghost Country, or no witnesses. Author, you're fucking dumb.
I refuse to believe that other ninja villages haven't been like, hey, so we made a seal. So when you die, this activates and just completely burns you. Like, no. This is bad.
Yeah.
This is stupid. Fuck. Should have just made this like an original work.
Yeah, I guess. But then he wouldn't have gotten all the Naruto clicks. Anyway, so, blah blah. The Hidden Book Village. From the Hidden Book Village.
Did it seriously? Where does it say that? Oh, God. From... Oh, what the fuck? What is he even saying?
And then the video showed up. And then what? I'm gonna see you later, Naruto. Okay. I just... Oh, I am definitely peace-loving, Calvin. I would love to see people in pieces.
It's not how that works.
No, I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
It's very much not how it works.
Anyway, so this was a story, and we are all made lesser for it. Let's see. How about a Fairy Tail Ruby crossover? I'm sure we're all excited for that, right?
Depends on what you mean by excited.
Rip in peace, my dude. Anyway, so this is Dragons in Remnant Scythe. Oh god, fucking gee, why? This is almost as bad as D-Train Dark. All aboard the D-Train. That just sounds sexual. Good night, Calvin.
Oh,
Scythe.
Calvin's leaving us.
A young man who bathed in the blood of Agnico Legolia became the Legolia Dragon Slayer. Oh yeah, okay. Find out how he became the Legolia Dragon Slayer, and how he was able to harm the Dragon King of Darkness. Scythe times Ruby. Watch as my self-insert OC becomes ridiculously powerful due to authorial bullshit, and then fucks a small child in a different series. How big of a demand do you think there would be on YouTube for me to, like, edit together a, honest summaries for fanfiction?
Not very.
No. It sounds so much worse when you phrase it like that. Well, I speak nothing but the truth. The night was calm and collected in the streets of Magnolia. But a certain group of dragon slayers were out causing mischief. Well, 2/4 of them at least. So half of them. Why not just say half of them? It's like... That's like saying a certain group of dragon slayers were out causing mischief. Well, 15/30 of them at least. Half of them.
Yeah, look, the author's dumb, and they will remain dumb forever.
Who doesn't occasionally screw a young child? Well, Isley, I can say I'm on that list.
Isley, I'm also going to go ahead and say I am on that list.
I'm also on that list. What the fuck? Like, at least she didn't finish the line, but why would you even start it?
The night was calm and collected in the streets of Magnolia. Come on, Salamander! Just do it already! Remember, never go back against what the master says! I don't know why I gave Gajil that accent.
I was gonna ask, but then I didn't care.
Yeah, Isley blamed Gia Sneaky, by the way, for her starting
Isley
that
can
line.
blame me all she wants. It won't change the fact that she is a perverted, demented individual.
No, it won't.
Gajil, the Iron Steel Dragon Slayer, smiled, holding a popsicle stick with a blue crown on one end. Was he gonna deep throat it? Alright, I'm going.
I'm pretty sure that's like a Kingdom Hearts reference. The popsicle stick with a blue crown on it, not deep throating of popsicles. I mean, I'm sure that happened in some creepy fan Kingdom Hearts thing, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
I'm glad you clarified there.
I was like, knowing Sneaky, I should clarify this.
Natsu stated before climbing a tree. Natsu puffed his cheeks and blew out his fire dragon's roar, scorching the grass in the shape of Sabertooth Guild emblem. Guys, I don't think this is such a good idea, Wendy, the Sky Maiden stated, waving her arms about. Relax, Shorty. No one's going to catch us. I might have been part of the Ruin Knights for a while, but I never forgot my wild side. Gajil smirked. So why won't the new guy talk? Natsu asked, pointing to the newcomer of the Fairy Tale Guild. Behind Wendy sat the edgy edgelord who edgelorded before all edgelords were edgelording. And he is a self-insert Mary Stew.
Mary Stew.
Hey, you might be trans.
I guess, but okay.
His eyes shined crimson with reptilian pupils, while his face was decorated in dragon scales like Achenologia. Wendy sighed. His name is Scythe, and he won't talk, because he doesn't like talking. He only feels comfortable speaking with me. Probably because he's a self-insert OC who has a crush on you. Small child.
Probably.
Gajeel as a Jamaican sounds like an interesting take on the character. Yes. I mean, he sort of fits. Doesn't he have dreadlocks?
No.
No. I can
He
see
has
him
really
having...
long hair and spikes.
I could see him having dreadlocks.
I think that'd be very strange.
I too think it would be strange.
If they wanted an edgy character with lots of power and a tough guy attitude, why didn't they just use Laxus? Well, because, silly Isley, they have to dump on Laxus. They can't dump on Laxus if they are Laxus.
Laxus isn't even kind of like, he's not edgy in the slightest. He's just a dickhead. Like, he's got nothing angsty about him. He's just a piece of shit that eventually develops.
Yeah, but Max, what you're not realizing is the fact that that's basically how everyone believes that that's how you're supposed to be edgy. Is just be an asshole to everyone.
But
because you're
that
deep
doesn't...
and angsty. Scythe tapped the brick
Wearing a
twice.
cloak doesn't make you edgy.
Hmm?
God damn, the internet ruins everything. They ruin cloaks, they ruin trench coats, they ruin fedoras and pea suits. Fuck the internet.
Yeah! Fuck
I was
the
gonna
internet.
say, they even ruined shoulder capes. Now the only way I can get away with it is if I have Gundamexia.
Nope, Gundam Exia is edgy now. Sorry. You're an edgelord. Hope you're proud of yourself, Atin.
You know what? I'll wear the Edgelord banner as long as I get to keep Exia.
You don't get to keep Exia. Sorry.
Alright, you know what?
Classy suits.
You know what?
If
If capes are edgy, then you don't get to like Domon.
No, I admit Domon's edgy. I don't care though, because he's an edgy goofball.
Anyway, if you two are done weeding out, let's continue.
Oh.
Hold on, I'm sorry, Sneaky. Let me fix it.
No.
The Emperor of Mankind is an edgelord because he has a cape.
Yes. He is also sitting on a throne. And he's a corpse. But he's still alive because he's just that strong.
Actually, yeah, that's kind of edgy.
That's pretty fucking edgy.
Okay,
dude.
no, let's be clear. Warhammer 40k is some of the edgiest bullshit ever. Like, I love 40k, and I will freely admit that 40k is just some edgy bullshit.
Now that's a story I would like to see. Luis summons the the Emperor of Mankind, but because he's basically dead, the spell's like, alright, it's cool, I got this, and turns him into a waifu.
Oh. The spell...
Why have you given people ideas?
The spell gender bends him into an attractive 20-something female.
Who's good at cooking.
Who's very, very confused now as to what happened to his real body and why he can no longer sense whatever the fuck he was holding off.
Yes.
That's a great...
Also,
Every
small problem. 40k is fucked. The Astronomicon is useless.
Yes. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, but on the other hand, like, every problem in that show just immediately solved.
Like, come on. Emperor of Mankind waifu. What could go wrong?
Many things.
Honestly, I don't know that anything can really go wrong unless you include something like the spell fucked up and accidentally like linked with the two worlds together. So now the Tyranids or whatever they're running from have a new place to run to.
Oh no, no. Zeech would be like an entire new world.
All according to Kakaku! And no one would question Zinch, because maybe it was.
No, there will be one. There will be one Architect of Fate who will be like, but Master, we didn't even know about this. Snap.
All according to my plans! Anyway, someone's gotta go write that now. I demand a God Emperor waifu.
You know what? I'm gonna go and do an image search for that now because I'm sure it's happened somewhere.
I'm sure it has.
I am equally certain that that exists.
Also, apparently all the Space Marines are now female.
Yeah, no, that Matt, Sneaky, that will be
Okay,
part of the spell's
alright.
effect. Just off in the 40k universe, because the Emperor of Mankind became a woman, all the Space Marines just immediately changed into Sisters of Battle.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Sneaky, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this over in our private server. I have found a husbando analysis for the God Emperor for you to peruse at your
I
leisure.
am not interested in that. I demand waifus.
No, 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 no. Oh, come on. All right. DuckDuckGo has found me. Google, I need your help.
Max, you may have to turn safe search off.
Why would you ever leave that on? Like, that actively does fuck up the... Oh. Well, I think I found it.
Oh.
God damn it, why is it always funny junk?
Ah.
God,
Funny
no, copy
Junk's
and
like the archive of the
location.
fucking internet at this point.
It is, unfortunately. Alright, this is the closest thing I could find at the moment. I will continue the search, though. Surely there must be more.
I wholeheartedly approve.
Oh. Oh! This is, apparently, this is Moe Emperor of Moe Kind, and she has a message for you. I'll upload that as well.
Is that Purge
Okay.
the Infidels?
No.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
No. 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 Fuck! Why is this so difficult? Well, I found a female crossplayer, and it's lost in the Space Battles forum. Oh god.
Oh, good luck with that.
Okay, image location. Surely I can.
Okay, anyway,
Sure,
so,
I you, I win.
blah,
Alright.
blah, blah. He calls Wendy over. He whispers into Wendy's ear. Wendy repeats what she said. Oh, of course. He's comfortable speaking with Wendy because she reminds him of his little sister.
Yes, of course.
Back to the game, Natsu shouts. I'm the master again, smiled, seeing Scythe's color. Scythe, tell me something about yourself without using Wendy as a translator. Hey, that's not fair, man. Why not? If he doesn't feel comfortable talking using his voice, we should respect that, man. Any respecting guild master knows that. Fine, use the shrimp as a translator. Oh god. What did he say? He's the Agnical Ogly a Dragon Slayer. No way. You gotta be kidding me.
That's not how that works.
Of course it is, Max. Because the author wants it to be.
Scythe's enhanced senses kicked in, and he dropped the 4 of them to the ground, taking the brunt of the attack. Meanwhile, a criminal group was making their way to a dust shop in Remnant. Okay, there's no line break there, okay. The 5 men walked through the alleyway, making their way to the shop, dusk till dawn. 4 of them were dressed in black suits with red shades and top hats. Those aren't top hats, you fuckstick, they're bowler caps. Fucking Christ. All carrying red katanas, while the one they were following was dressed in a white suit, black pants, fancy bowler hat, cap, cane in hand, and a lit cigar in his mouth. Finding the store they wanted, the men in the bowler hat opened the door, followed by his lackeys. Do you have any idea how hard it is to find a dust shop that's open this late? The orange-haired man asked as one of the followers pointed
While
a gun.
the author recycled dialogue?
Blah, 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 blah. Canon material literally ripped straight out of the script. Blah, 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 blah. Still reciting the precisely exact events that happened in canon. Blah, blah, blah. Still copying canon, still copying canon, still copying canon. Here we go. Nope, still copying canon. And still copying canon, still copying canon, still copying canon, still copying canon, still copying canon. Still copying canon, still copying canon. Here we go. As the bullhead took off, she sent a barrage of ice at the bullhead, causing it to go off course. The female pilot stepped out of the pilot's seat and blocked the attack. Lightning in her hand, on fire, she sent fireball after fireball, blah blah blah. When the blonde prepared a defense, Scythe went in front. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, so Scythe, the author's self-inserter C, suddenly appeared and took all of the hits. They all gasped, fearing the worst. However, their shock widened when the flames imploded. At the center of the flames, they saw Scythe. His cloak burned away, revealing a pair of black and blue scale pants, while red and black scales donned his body like a chest plate and arm guards, and a towerless crown for a knightly prince.
Why? Just... why?
What the fuck?
What must I do to make the suffering end?
Isley says this is basically the worm equivalent of the lung fight. Sorry, the Ruby equivalent of the lung fight. And I mean, I have to agree with you. I have seen multiple stories go with the whole Ruby has extra powers, or the self-insert OC shows up to change the fight outcome, but at last second Cinder Fall proves too powerful for the hero, and makes their getaway escape, even though she fucking left the seat of the flying vehicle.
Okay, Sneaky, look, modern planes have an autopilot.
I mean,
As do
Like, it's not
helicopters.
sophisticated, but you can tell it, I'm going northwest.
Yeah.
In this direction. Keep
Helicopters
going
also
in this direction.
have, helicopters have an equivalent of hover in place. So
that's fair enough, I guess. It's just like... If it's an in-place target, then why doesn't he fucking just blow up the fucking cockpit seat or something? You know?
So did Roman just not get into the bullhead in time, or like, because I was busy looking for God Emperor Waifu and
no, Roman's in the bullhead as far as we know.
Oh, then he's the one who should be piloting.
Except he's just standing there. His hair was spiked. And it blah 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 blah, look how awesome. He has a katana. Blah 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 blah, he's so awesome. Blah 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 blah, the female pilot blew apart the rubble sent at them. Red, because apparently we can't just fucking call the main character by her name in a fan fiction. Turned her scythe into a gun and started firing at the bullhead, shocked only to find that each bullet was deflected by the female pilot's hand.
You know what? Just for this, whenever they call Ruby by not Ruby's name, I vote we call her Cornholio. Just fuck those. Fuck the author. Something stupid.
I remember watching episode, like, 1 or whatever it was, and I'm pretty certain Cinder did not handheld deflect any bullets. I'm pretty certain Ruby just shot at the bullhead and the bullets kind of just dinged off of the bullhead.
No, she was deflecting bullets.
She what? That's so fucking...
Yep, there was bullet deflection.
That is dumb! Especially because they never did it again in the entire fucking series.
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
I'll say, who was even in shock at that? Like, was it Scythe and the other? And
No,
like,
Glinda
Ruby and Glinda have no reason to be... They shouldn't have any reason to be surprised, though, because this is a world full of aura. And that's not how they were portrayed in the show. What the fuck is wrong with this author?
No, but Glinda and Ruby are just shocked by his act of self-sacrifice that killed him. And then they were shocked even more when the self-sacrifice didn't kill him. And he turned out to be this totally awesome super half-dragon person thing. With a crown. And now we run into the additional problem of crossovers. Fairy tale characters shake off explosions and survive houses falling on them without any actual damage. If you don't have aura in Ruby, you're dead. Yeah, except the fucking excuse that every author gives. So for Naruto, it's, oh, the chakra makes their skin tougher and their bones harder and their muscles stronger. And in Fairy Tail, it's, oh, it's magic, so it makes their magic happen.
Yeah. I mean, one of the more common assumptions or theories that you can run with is that, like, humans in the world of Fairy Tail are just tougher than humans in our world. As a probably as a fucking survival, like, probably as a mechanism from evolution. Like, oh shit, we are capable of throwing, like, nukes around.
I mean,
we
not
should
even
probably
that.
get
I wouldn't be surprised if it was like, oh, you know, fairy tale universe humans are actually not even Homo sapiens as we know them, but they're actually a magical species that uses magic to make its conceptual existence harder or something. Because fuck you.
I'm sorry, I only listened to like a third of that, and it made me angry. Like, the third that I heard just made me angry.
Well, that's a shame.
Anyway, I was thinking of something earlier, and then I forgot it. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. He shot fire at the bullhead, shocking everyone who were prepared to fight him. As he continued to shoot fire at the bullhead, Scythe smelt an explosive ready to blow and turned to see 5 glowing spheres where the 2 girls stood, and raced over and saved them before the explosion exploded. Taking this opportunity, they all
Okay, hold
flew
on
off.
a minute. This is a guy who's used to people like Erza. Because he's part of Fairy Tale.
Yep.
Surely, seeing Ruby and Glinda, he would know these are at least competent individuals who can handle themselves and could probably dodge an explosion. And I should just focus on murdering the plane.
Yeah, of course. But you see, he's a self-insert OC with meta-knowledge of what's about to happen. So therefore, to look the most heroic and get the girl, he must save them from situations that they have fully in hand.
Of course.
Because I'm sure Isley can confirm, women absolutely love it when you butt into something they have fully in hand and do it for them. Right, Isley?
Alright, fair enough.
Anyway,
Well,
so,
I mean, look, I've got nothing to say to that.
as I was saying, Red and Blonde ran over to Explosion, only to find Scythe on one knee. Seeing he was alright, Red turned to Blonde. "You Huntress, can I have autograph?" Half-hour later, both Scythe and Red walking, sitting in room. A pile of paper and pen next to Scythe as Blonde figured out he doesn't talk. Look, I am an extremely antisocial person. I know that might come to a surprise to some people, being that I run a podcast where I shout and get drunk for 2 hours about fan fiction. But I have actually gone, Max can confirm, several weeks without talking before.
Yeah, straighten out, like, I remember I called you up one day after a bunch of shit tons of heavy work at college. I was like, Sneaky, are you okay? No, my throat is in pain. Why? I haven't talked for the last 3 days.
He really does do that.
Like
listen, if there was ever, like, a human being that I would, lovingly is not the right word, but gladly describe as a neck-bearded anime hermit, it's Sneaky.
I don't even watch anime!
You're still a neck-bearded anime hermit, though.
Fair enough.
Honestly, Sneaky, like, you're the equivalent of the hermit in anime. Except you're more ornery.
I was gonna say, he's less perverted and more ornery.
Yeah, like... well, he also doesn't know any, like, amazing martial arts or spiritual techniques he can pass on.
No, but he is practically unkillable and constantly on the verge of death.
You must balance the two to find an equal
Also
balance
constantly
in
drunk.
yourself.
No, honestly, he just doesn't talk. His mouth opens to eat and drink and maybe breathe. That's it. He does not use his vocal cords for days on end if you don't actively engage with him from time to time.
I just want... Yeah. This podcast has been good for me in terms of making sure that I am not suffering from undue disuse of my throat.
Yeah.
But with that being said, there is a time where you just don't feel like talking to people. I've been there. Getting transported to a foreign world, to a foreign city, and then fighting a criminal, and then being interrogated by the effective equivalent of the police is a pretty fucking solid time to open your goddamn mouth and say words.
Yeah.
That sounds like work.
Yeah, you know what's more work, though? Sitting there and writing everything you want to say out.
Of course.
I wonder if there's an actual study that breaks down, like, the energy cost of each of those.
It's not really even energy cost, it's just, like, perceived work required.
You know, yeah, but in that case, I'm probably just gonna write everything out, because then I don't have to say the same thing multiple fucking times to people.
I mean, yes, there is certain circumstances where I wish I could just have a sign with specific words on it that I could just slap people with when they're being dumb and asking the same thing over and over. But, alas, that would be assault. Anyway, so, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah, threats, blah blah, threats, blah. Blah, blah, threats, blah. Also, I'm not actually threatening you. I just wanted you to keep you here so you could meet someone. It is I, Azpundo, the Magnificent.
Excuse me, Sneaky, you're not referring to him by his proper title? Ozpin the Demilich?
Indeed. What's your name? My name is Scythe Scarlet Jaggerknight.
Jaeger Knight? Really?
No!
Scarlet Hunter Knight?
Scythe Scarlet Huntsman Knight. Jesus Christ, oh, Meduno. My name is Scythe Scarlet Jaggerknight, and I'm here to catch all the Pokemon.
You know, I used to think Aaron Yeager would be the dumbest name I'd ever have to look at with the German word for hunter. And that's actually a pretty okay character once he's developed. This takes the cake now. Fucking...
Yes, it does.
I'm curious. Is this a thing? Is this like something from another place? Actually, no, but did get some pretty kick-ass art of a custom Jaeger for Pacific Rim as a design.
Neat.
It's actually really cool. I'm gonna put this in the private server. That's cool.
Blah, 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 blah.
That's
The kindly man turned into Ruby. You have silver eyes. Where did you learn to do this? And you this? He asked as Glinda showed footage of Ruby fighting and Scythe eating the fire. Signal Academy, Ruby stammered. Scythe remains silent and motionless. Like the edgelord he is.
Yeah, by the way,
Very well. Huh?
one of the Google image results for typing in Jaeger Knight, it's just Aaron Yeager in plate armor holding a sword.
That has nothing to do with Jaegers or knives. I am disappointed.
Jaeger knives.
Not where'd you get knife from? By the way, there is a brand
From
called
Adam.
Winter Jaeger for knives. So, I mean, if you're interested in that, they misspell Jaeger, but you know they try. Pre-war Swedish double-edged Jaeger
They're
knife.
still not as bad as that one car. I think it was the Nova. Because in Spanish, Nova means doesn't work. So the company tried selling the Nova in Mexico and shit, and nobody would buy it. Because apparently at no point in time, no one told them that they were calling a car that they were selling the doesn't work model.
Well then.
Oh, that's great. I love stupid shit like that. Farming tool. Oh god, you're right. He's a farming tool red hunter knight.
He's farming tool red hunter walking tin can.
Actually, let's see. Oh. Huh. So apparently the word knight is derived from the very old English, meaning boy, youth, or servant, and eventually evolved to mean medieval knights. So
Well
technically
then.
he's farming tool red hunter youth or boy. Okay. That makes this all the sweeter.
Okay, alright. So as I said on Discord while you guys were talking, my name is Scarlet, Scythe Scarlet Huntsman Knight, and I'm gonna be the #1 Hokage.
Wouldn't it be the #1 headmaster? Or #1 guildmaster?
Yeah, but Hokage is edgier.
Yeah, but it doesn't fit.
It does fit. He'll be the Fire Shadow. Because he eats fire. And he's made of darkness.
I mean, if we want to be really edgy, Max, he'll be the #1 Death Scythe pilot.
A joke lost on us. A joke lost, but for a scant few. You know, it could have been worse. He could have. It could have been worse though. Like he could have been like, "Oh yeah, he's the Blood Dragon Slayer."
I
Actually,
am the Blood
meaning.
Dragon Slayer. I come for you.
I can't wait for them. So you're a vampire? No. Well, you're a Blood Dragon Slayer. Yeah, and you eat blood, right? Yeah.
I eat
So you're a
blood
vampire.
dragons.
I don't need blood to live. I can just eat it. So you're a vampire. That actually might be a fun character.
Also, I would say Wendy is by far the most terrifying Dragon Slayer in existence. The Air Dragon Slayer. Oh, what do you eat?
Oh, she's terrifying. Yes.
I eat air.
The Sky Dragon Slayer. Yeah.
How do you heal? By eating air. So is there any point in time we could beat you without air? Well, we die too then. Exactly.
I mean, theoretically, Natsu and Gajio could work together to kill her. Gajio could trap her in an iron cage, and Natsu could superheat it.
Well, I mean, the
Like,
actual
if you make it so that she eating the air scalds her lungs.
Well, the bigger problem is that she doesn't have a lot of offensive power. She specializes in defense and healing. So really, you're just trying to kill a tanky
but the problem there, though, Max, is that's because of her personal preference. That's not because the Air Dragon Slayer doesn't have offensive abilities.
I think that was also due to the training. Like,
yeah,
we all gave up on Fairy Tail, so for all we know, Sky Dragons are actually like the most bloodthirsty.
I mean, she could probably straight up just eat the air out of someone's lungs if she wanted to. Talk about taking their breath away.
They don't have that much control over how they eat, though. Shit, that would have to be like lip contact there. She's not a fucking airbender.
Yeah, and so she plugs their nose and then eats the air out of their lungs by smooching them. I don't see how that would... the air out of someone's capital lung. Yes. She would eat the air out of lung. It would be a makeout that would take your breath away.
Yeah. Honestly, some of the Dragon Slayers, like the second generation ones, are actually kind of scary. Like, we had a Shadow and a Light Dragon Slayer?
Yep, they were there.
It's like, alright. These guys are actually pretty terrifying, because those are in pretty high quantities. Actually, didn't the Shadow Dragon Slayer have a legit problem where his shadow was like its own semi-sapient being?
I believe that was the case, but I stopped giving a shit.
And the Light Dragon Slayer just got kick-ass lasers.
So what do you eat? Light.
Oh.
Pardon?
Okay.
I eat light.
Still one of the weirdest things. Michael
Max,
Jones.
I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light!
His voice doesn't go that high pitched. What the fuck, Atin?
Hey, okay, okay, guys, I know we're all hating on this story, but I will say, on the upside, as edgy as his name is, he does not have a uncle named after a bird. Who also teaches at one of the huntsman schools with a scythe.
That's true.
And I'm not making fun of Crow. I'm making fun of I'm D-Train Dark!
Indeed.
Okay.
And my Uncle Eagle has taught me how to use the scythe! Were you there for that, Max?
Cool. No. I don't think I was. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, this was a previous story we
you
covered.
You missed D-Train?
He missed D-Train Dark! Whose Uncle Eagle taught him how to use a scythe.
Couldn't he have been more subtle and picked another farming implement?
Also, his sister dated the wolf faunus adopted older brother of Yang and Ruby.
Was this during the week I was on, like, a trip?
Yes.
So I have 6 hours of shit to find it.
Yes.
D-Train
Dark! That will probably be an ongoing reference from now on.
I fucking hate you.
Blah, 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 blah. Only one other scythe wielder, that's a dusty old crow. Oh, that's my Uncle Crow. He teaches us signal. Blah, 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 blah. What the fuck? Ruby stopped explaining, did ninja poses and stances, which almost hit Scythe if it wasn't for his reflexes. Ruby was scared, but she looked over and saw him smiling at her. Obviously, he was a rational person. What?
Why would that need
I
to
have
be
no comment.
specifically stated?
What? What
Oh
the
wow,
fuck?
you didn't hit a young child for nearly slapping you by accident. You're clearly rational. Who makes that connection? What kind of world does... Jesus Christ, how bad is Vermin if she's worried about someone actually trying to punch her for nearly accidentally hitting them?
I mean, to be fair, her sister is Yang.
Alright, so blah blah.
Yang is far more
What's
likely to
an
put her into a
adorable
noogie.
girl like yourself doing at a school designed to train warriors? Holy, Ozpin is not as many problems as I have with Ozpin. He is not that condescending.
That's literally his line.
Is that line?
That is what he says, yes.
Holy shit, I hate Ozpin.
Yeah, no, he goes full condescension.
I hate Ozpin
Oh
even
my
more
God.
now.
You completely forgot about that line.
Look, Max, season 1 and 2 and 3 and what parts of 4 we did watch were a drunken haze to me.
Well, that's because you were drinking through them.
That's the only way I could watch them. Scythe was shocked that there were schools that taught that stuff. I want to be a huntress. You want to slay monsters. Yeah! Blah blah blah, canon rehash, literally ripping the script, blah 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 blah. How about you? What are you doing here? I was attacked, I fell unconscious, and I woke up here. Last thing I remember is my friend Wendy, Natsu, and Gajio coming to my aid before a bright flash of life engulfed us all. Scythe explained, writing it all out on a piece of paper. So I take it you're not from around? That's a lot of shit to write on a piece of paper. Just fucking talk, Jesus Christ. So I take it you're not from around here? No, I'm not. Am I anywhere close to Magnolia? I'm sorry. Magnolia doesn't exist. Where are your friends? Blah 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 describes his friends. Also true, Sneaky Devil, would you say to an everything wrong with Ozpin rant at some point when you guys cover Ruby? I mean, I'll fucking sit down with Max and Atin if they want to actually record a legit, like, everything wrong with blank sort of episode. Where we
Oh boy!
dump one character.
Oh, we'll have some rant.
Everything wrong with Ozpin. Oh boy.
Number 1, being a creepy demi-lich and not telling anyone.
I mean, yeah, so, I mean, yeah, if they're up for it, I'll fucking sit down and we'll all record an episode out, and one of us will put some shitty graphics in, as our channel is known for, and we'll call it a day and slap it on YouTube, and maybe I'll play it on repeat or something on Twitch. Maybe that's what I'll have on repeat on my Twitch channel. I'll just have my gripe with blank character episodes. How do you feel about that, you two?
Scared.
Excellent.
I mean, we could do worse.
And that's how we'll be internet famous! And by internet famous, I mean like 20 people watch our video, and we get like 3 thumbs down.
Yeah.
And blah 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 blah. I've never heard of them. Why don't you join Beacon? Will I get free time to search for my friends? Oh, totally, you'll be able to search for your friends. hey, you should join my combat college. Oh, okay, sure, I'll join your combat college. Will I have enough free time to search across the world for my friends? Oh yeah, you'll definitely have enough free time in the combat college to do that. Okay. So is your name Scythe? That's so cool, just like my weapon. What weapon do you use? Scythe stood up and went to a corner where his katana was and pulled them out of their scabbards. So 2 katanas. A fire and ice katana. Because Edgy McEdge. That's so cool. Wait, was there even magic weapons?
Yeah, there were totally magic weapons. There were people whose entire shtick was summoning them.
Oh, fair enough.
Yep.
That's so cool. So is eating fire your semblance? And asked what a semblance was. He shocked everyone in the room. How do you not know what a semblance is? Well, since we've already established that the Wizard of Oz doesn't know what the fucking Magnolia is, I think you can excuse him for not knowing what a semblance is. That's something I've always personally hated about any story where it's like a crossover. Like, I understand if it's like, oh yeah, my semblance is to go super fast. What can your semblance do? And like they just met, there's like a fucking combat situation going on, and the guy's like, what the fuck's a semblance? And they're like, what the fuck do you mean, what the fuck's a semblance? I can understand that. But if you're like,
But,
yeah,
like,
so
this
I
is
come from
very
this
clearly,
town.
he's like, where are you from? I'm from Magnolia. Well, that doesn't fucking exist, so...
Hey, I'm from this town that doesn't exist, looking for these people that you've never seen before, that look all very distinctive. Have you seen any of them? Oh, no, you haven't. Okay, so what's a semblance? Why are you shocked I don't know this information? How the fuck did you mix this guy made of metal? I think we're on equal footing here, everyone. What's a semblance? How did you miss the guy made of metal? You know, I just think it's so fucking dumb that if it's like, what's some other big crosses where I've seen the big reveal?
Yep.
Harry Potter, I guess. Harry Potter crossovers with like Naruto and Bleach and shit. How do you not know what Ryoku is, or what the fuck it's called? It's like, oh, we're all clearly human here, and we all use something we call chakra, so forgive us for not knowing what Ryatsu Kyoka is.
I think it was Reiatsu, I think.
Sure.
I think you're combining Reiatsu and Hyogyoku together somehow.
Sure. I don't fucking care.
You know, second, you're saying Ryoko, and I'm like, what did we get on a Tenchi Muyo? I was very confused.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm not from around here. Why don't you talk? Scythe was silent, noticing the pain in his eyes. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. How old are you? Okay, no, again, I reiterate. If someone refuses to fucking speak to me, and I can look at their throat and go, they have no throat injury, I am most certainly going to say to them, why do you not talk? And if they go, I'll go, that's not a fucking answer.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, if you're not going to use the communication method that 99.99% of other Homo sapiens use, then you better come up with a damn fuck all good reason why. Don't and look hurt when someone asks you. Now, to be fair, if you have a massive scar running across your throat that looks like someone ripped it out and then it healed over, and someone goes, "Why don't you talk?" you can just be like, "Are you fucking retarded? Look at my neck." Then, that is justifiable. You're like, seriously? But if you look completely normal, and someone goes, "Hey, why don't you talk?" Looking hurt and looking away and humping is not how you answer that question.
It's just gonna be like if someone did that to me, I would be like, that's not an explanation, fucker.
That's when you do your best Jamaican accent. I talk like this, man, and not everyone likes it. So how was my Jamaican?
Yeah, it was something.
Horrendously racist.
Thank you! Or you'll just be asked to talk. Nah, dude, I love it when Irish people talk, because I love that accent, but that's just me. But, anyway. Moving on. How old are you? I'm 16. You look 20. I grew up on a ranch and a farm, so I got tall.
What?
That is not how that works in the fucking slightest.
Sometimes I just love humanity sometimes, really I do.
I worked real hard, so I got tall. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Oh, that's...
Okay, anyway, so, Scythe. What is your answer? Scythe gave some thought to it before answering. I accept your author, but I want to search for my friends on my
author
terms.
Or offer?
Offer.
Okay.
Oh,
But you said
I
author for
stopped
some
drinking
reason.
about like 20 minutes ago and I'm already fucking sobering up. Your terms are acceptable. Just to make sure to maintain a steady, good grade. What?
I don't know.
Since you don't have anywhere to go, why don't you come to my place? I'm sure Dad would love for you to sleep over on the couch.
No, Ruby, I'm pretty sure your father won't appreciate you inviting a strange fire-eating maniac into your house.
Anyway, so, blah, 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 blah. Wendy pops up and she gets kidnapped, of course.
Ow.
And Scythe senses a disturbance in the Wendy force and knows that she has been kidnapped somehow. I wish I was kidding about that. Blah, 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 blah. My name is Natsu's Dragon Eel, and I'm gonna be a Pokemon Master.
I'm sorry.
I mean, you ain't wrong.
Oh, God.
Also, apparently,
Yeah,
somehow, Natsu and Gajeel end up in the Branwen tribe.
Oh, well, those guys are fucked now.
They're gonna end up part of the Branwen tribe. That's what's
No,
gonna
the
happen.
Branwen tribe is going to be renamed to whatever one of their last names they pick.
The Dragon Slayers tribe.
The Prandarin tribe has been rebranded. What are we now? The Dragon Slayer tribe. How did that happen? We don't like talking about it.
We got our shit kicked in by a bunch of kids.
That's actually probably how that would go. Just
Alright,
saying,
so
like,
this
it
is
seems
the
like the only...
after-action report, lads.
honestly, for a tribe that prides itself on, like, strength from what we've gotten from Raven,
They're pretty fucking weak.
Raven and her little, like, stand-in seem to be the only competent ones in that entire tribe.
Well, you see, they're also a bunch of bandits, so they're pretty much gonna all be low tier. Because if they were strong, then they would be antagonists, and they can't be antagonists if they're helping the protagonists. Welcome to Miles and Carrie writing Ruby stories. Anyway, so that about sums it up. I am coming off my drunken bent, so which means I'm going to be sober, which is unfortunate, because I'm probably going to remember this night then.
Anyway, I'm gonna go get food.
But yes, food for everyone! Go forth and prosper, my lads and lasses, and remember, tell people about this. Share it on Discord, slap it on the Reddits, post it on Facebook if you wish to lose people and have them question your sanity. Just generally get the word out, because the more people we have in the chat, the way less shit fanfiction we have to cover. And that's just a win-win for everyone. So, I'll catch you all next time, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, every Tuesday and Friday. See you next time, because remember, there's always more and it always gets worse.